Hi guys, it's B. Scott here. Welcome to another episode of Ride Along. Ride Along. I'm here with Bman the Champ.
What up?
Brady, troublemaker. So we got a busy week ahead. We actually got it segmented. So our first segment, we're going to be talking about the Royal Rumble. It's happened this past Sunday. Crazy event. You can see Bman's review video featuring all of us on his channel. So you can kick us off because you're the wrestling genius.
I would call it a genius, but
Our expert on the panel, as the news says.
A couple, yeah. Like the fact that the loser of the WWE Championship match would win the Royal Rumble. Like I just knew that was happening.
I said that on the last Ride Along that was on back in early 2000.
Did you? Okay.
I did actually go back and he did say it.
Yeah. Well, it just made sense, right? Because they're gonna get to Lesnar versus Reigns eventually at WrestleMania, which is where it's pretty much heading because Lesnar already chose his Rumble opponent, but now he's also in the Elimination Chamber match, which we'll get to in a bit. But yeah, so that was pretty. I liked the women's Royal Rumble was all right. I liked the beginning. Sasha Banks came out in the Sailor Moon outfit. You see in my video, I was a huge Sailor Moon was actually my first, even though I didn't know it at the time, it was actually my very first anime I ever watched.
Can we also add in that you did not want to see the women's Royal Rumble match until she came out in that outfit? And then he's like, I really like this match. You're like, I hate this match. I don't like it. Oh, wow, she's in a Sailor Moon outfit. I'm going to watch this now.
What can I say? I'm a man of culture.
Yeah, you were going to leave early if it was the main event.
It was, if the women's match went on last, I was thinking about leaving early. But no, I went on right after the Universal Championship match, which kicked off the show. Rollins came on the Shield gear with the music. That was fucking awesome.
Nostalgia.
I know. And then, of course, the fucking bullshit ending, but a good match before that, like a really good match. But no, Reigns got himself disqualified, so apparently he's got a new challenger. I haven't watched SmackDown yet, so I don't know who it is, and I don't want anybody telling me, so. What else happened? Ronda Rousey came back and won the Women's Rumble, which is kind of predictable, but I thought Rhea Ripley was going to win, but that was only if Ronda Rousey wasn't in the Rumble, which she ended up being. But I was technically right because the woman with the initials RR won the Rumble. So I was partially right. WWE Championship match was, looking back on it, it wasn't great. And that was partially ruined by Reigns coming in and interfering and costing Lesnar the WWE title. So it pretty much makes it look like Lashley really can't get it done on his own. But I guess we're gonna see in the chamber. And what else? Anything else happen? You mentioned the winner of the men's Royal Rumble. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. I guess I'd give the Rumble like a C+, like 3 out of 5, so right in the middle kind of thing. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. So,
does anyone else want to give their thoughts on the Rumble?
I don't know. I was mad entertained by it. You know what I mean? For me, it's a figure of like the more time I spend off my phone, the more I'm able to focus on like the television set, which the Rumble's was shot because I've had a lot of difficulty obviously paying attention in the past, right? But the Rumble's sick. That's pretty much it. I just justice for Alexa Bliss. Why was she not in the Rumble? Justice for Bray Wyatt. Just saying. Shout out to the guy with the we want Wyndham sign and let him in sign on
Me,
RTC.
same here.
Oh yeah,
same
that was
here.
cool.
Yeah.
That was pure nostalgic, and
Yeah.
like Corey Graves just killed it on commentary during that segment. Woo! I think this is what we need in this day and age.
I like his little. I like what that pun he made when Mickey James got eliminated. It's just like the impact from that, for being eliminated. Kind of. I forget what the hell he said. He mentioned something about impact, which is like a little callback to Mickey James, who was obviously a member of the Impact roster, Knockouts champion.
Yes, yeah. When she got thrown out, that was yeah.
Or I think he said something along the lines of Lita made quite an impact with that elimination or something.
Something like that.
So that Corey Graves was just like I prefer McAfee over Graves, but Graves has his moments.
And on Raw, he has a lot of good moments.
He does.
They should put them together.
We should.
Will we get that?
I'm like Michael.
All right, yeah, that's all I really got about the Rumble, I guess.
Brady, any thoughts on
I
that?
thought it was decent. I mean, was it the best ever? No. I mean, it was better than 2015.
Yeah. Same. I'd have to agree with Daniel on that. I really liked on the Ivory segment. I really that was really funny. Melina came back, of course, that was great. She was a little bit chubby though. You know, it's like my dad was saying too. She's gained a bit of weight. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
she wasn't
when
really
you-
in the best of shape.
When you age, your metabolism slows down, so that might be
But
part of it.
My grandmother was 66 and she looked good. It all depends on how you take care of yourself.
And too.
And no, I'm not bashing before anyone says, hey, you're bashing. No, it's my opinion.
You're
And
fat shaming. How
No.
dare you?
because I know people that are in good shape for their older age. Which leads into our next topic, speaking of shaming. So, and actually, I've had this conversation with a lot of people this week. As announced Wednesday, Eminem is a nominee to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I read that article and I shook my head. I'm like, why? I like Eminem. He's not rock and roll. And yes, I get that Jay-Z and everyone's in it, but this is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not a hip-hop Hall of Fame. If it was a hip-hop Hall of Fame, by all means, you can put him at the top. Now here's why I say this. And I read another article today on why he should be in it. And it literally said, oh, because he wrote great rhymes. That's not rock music. That's rap music. So basically what they're saying is, let's put everyone who's ever done music into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. No, I'm sorry, but that's not how a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame works. You've got bands out there from the 70s and the 60s who have done so much more than Eminem and who've been around longer. Facts. You can even look this up. I'm not bashing. But they don't even get in. But this guy who has done a lot in his own community may possibly get it. And yes, he's going up against Dolly Parton, but again, country music singer, not rock and roll. I talked about this to Eli, who's a hardcore Eminem fan. He even agreed with me. I thought I was going to get bashed for this. Everyone's like, oh, no, he's done all this. But it's like, I'm not bashing what he's done. In his own hip-hop community, he's done everything. But this is a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This isn't a hip-hop Hall of Fame. That's like putting the Rolling Stones in the Rap Hall of Fame. They're not rap music. So, yeah. Does anyone want to chime in on that?
Or like putting well, let me ask you this. What do you,
for sure.
See, okay, so I know it's not really the same thing, but what do you think about like celebrities being in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Who brought that up? No, you know what? Eli brought that up to me the other night when I said that. Why is Donald Trump in the WWE Hall of Fame? But now here's what I said to counter that. Donald Trump actually played a bigger role. He actually was in multiple segments. At one time, he owned Raw. So he has the right to be in that Hall of Fame.
In kayfabe, he owned Raw.
No. So that right there is a valid question. If they did a lot for that industry, again, they should be in it. But let's go back to Eminem. What has he done for rock music? He's done nothing. He's a rapper, and that's what he does. So Donald Trump has done a lot for WWE. Has done in the past a lot for WWE. He owned Raw. He had the Battle of the Billionaires. I think he did a few other segments years ago. So he's relevant to be in that Hall of Fame. Okay, now here's another example. Some people in the car like sports. Let's say we put Babe Ruth in the Basketball Hall of Fame. The guy's a baseball guy. Why would we put him in the Basketball Hall of Fame when he's a baseball player? Like, that makes no sense. So why are you putting a rapper and all these other rappers who are in it? And no, I'm not bashing them. I think they're talented people, but they have their own Hall of Fame for... I'm sure there is a hip-hop Hall of Fame. I don't know. If there is, tell me. Let them go in that Hall of Fame. This is a rock and roll Hall of Fame. But that's just my opinion. Does anyone else want to chime in? Yeah, what's up?
Or not an opinion, but like...
Thoughts or opinions, yeah.
Maybe instead of saying Babe Ruth, you could have said Tom Brady, because technically he got drafted by the Montreal Expos. So, you saying like...
But my point was, though, a guy from another sports league, so not going to Hall of Fame, unless they've actually played in that sport. So Tom Brady, for example, he played in MLB, so he can go in. He didn't? Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is, like, if you would have used him as your
Yeah.
example, it'd be like putting Tom Brady into the MLB Hall of Fame.
True.
Even though he's never played.
He never played? But, he was okay.
He was drafted, though, yeah.
Or that true, okay. But yeah, does anyone else have any thoughts on that, or?
Well, yeah, I was, like, I heard that news.
Yeah.
You know? I don't, like, I see it from a lot of different angles, because, like, Eminem's, like, my favorite rapper.
Yeah, no, I know.
I don't know, like, let me just start it. I don't understand why rappers are even going in the rock and roll Hall of Fame.
Thank you. That's literally what I just said.
Okay, like,
right?
I really just don't really understand that.
Yeah.
It's, if they get it, that's something to add to their repertoire. Cool, it's an amazing trophy. It's almost like it's just like a pop culture thing.
That's what it's become, though, because actually, like, if you look at the Hall of Fame, it's so much more than just rappers, though, bro. Like, it's like country singers, too. It's like, why do we have country singers and rappers in a rock and roll Hall of Fame? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, if I had to pinpoint from his catalog, anything remotely that because he raps over a shit ton of hip hop beats, but if I had to pinpoint a rock and roll thing, I would be like, this is Survival. His song Survival has like a pretty heavy rock element to it, but that's one song. Yeah. You know, and then there's another song he did another song that was also like a rock cover, but he just made it a rap song.
Aerosmith, yeah, I know.
Sing for the Moment.
Eli played that for me, and but you know what? He copied that. Like, that's not even like he got the actual band to do it. He basically played like a recording of the album. So, like, I'm glad you agree with me. You know, yeah. Now, I'm glad you see it.
I'm gonna say this too.
Okay.
Rightfully so. If he gets it, which I feel like he will, because there's like there's a bunch of people like me that would take the time to go to vote for him. If we have to start looking at rappers that use a lot of rock, like ICP and Twisted, they should go to rock and roll thing.
Okay, so this is funny about that. I was gonna make a YouTube video about this whole topic, but I just put it on there. I was gonna say those names, and I'm gonna say it again. They're horrorcore rappers. They are not rock musicians.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I was gonna do a whole video on this, but I'm like, nah. I'll save it for Ride Along.
You see, Twisted, they have from hip hop. Like, they still do hip hop. They transitioned. They've made, I believe, like one or two metal albums.
Oh, okay.
So like they're playing around with their sound, evolving, you know, as artists do. But like, just looking at this aspect, like the way that Troublemaker sees it. Okay, explain to me why some of these rappers are in the Hall of Fame. So like, I think back to Jay-Z. I'm like, is it the Linkin Park collab?
I was gonna say yes. Okay, so he actually earns it for doing that awesome song.
The whole album, right?
Oh, what, he did an album? Yeah. Okay, so him, fair enough. I was actually gonna say him, but then I just said everyone.
And then like, if people took the time to go back and listen to some late 90s ICPs, you know, and some Twisted, you'll see that they literally put rock effort into their raps. And I've mentioned this like 100 times to B-Scat on there. where I'm like, the reason that I come out on some of my songs and I do like growling or yelling or whatever, I'm inspired by it. But that's a wave. It's called like new metal.
Yeah.
You know, like Hollywood Undead.
I know what
like
it is.
they're heavily involved in new metal. Speaking of,
and they're actually coming here in March. I think they're opening for Papa Roach. So yeah. So no.
So like new metal's a whole genre on its own, fusion of rap and rock.
If we're gonna talk about like the history like of the growl though, again we got to look at the history, right? ICP didn't actually start that. That was actually started in 80s metal. Guys like Dawkins, guys like Alice in Chains, Nirvana, all those deep bands in the 90s. So that was really a 90s thing, and then everyone just started doing it.
So that's Nirvana like grunge though.
So same thing. So like it was a grunge era thing. So like it wasn't just ICP doing it. Like it was a thing that was a trend at the time. So everyone was doing it, and like now we see it a lot with horrorcore rap. Obviously, we see it with Disturbed, all these newer bands. You know what I mean? It's actually kind of cool. So
yeah.
Great point though, by the way.
Yeah. So that's just it. And here's the other thing. I don't know if there's a hip hop Hall of Fame, and I'm a rapper.
Right?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, man. Like we have to Google this shit.
Yeah.
Someone tell us. Like, is there?
I think maybe it should be an all-encompassing, like just the music Hall of Fame. But
fair enough.
My thoughts on it is like if you, I don't think contributing one or two things. Like, well, Jay-Z's case, okay, maybe a whole album.
Yeah. So
I don't think like one. I don't like just one thing or just like a multitude of things for like a one album would constitute going into a Hall of Fame or like it's like if I were to actually be, because I wanted to be a baseball player when I was younger. If I were to play hopefully for the Blue Jays when I was still a fan, and I played like one season, or not, or maybe just a few games, or whatever. Obviously, I wouldn't expect to go into the Hall of Fame. Like it doesn't make, and especially over guys that have been they just did their ballot voting. I can't even fucking talk today.
So good.
They said that ballot voting for Hall of Fame, and guys, and okay, like I get why, because of the whole scandal that guys like Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds didn't get in. But you got guys who have been trying for years to get in, they don't get in. But then like if I were to get in, that would make no sense.
That's what I'm saying though too. Actually, like you've got guys like, I don't know, like are the Rolling Stones in the Hall of Fame?
I think they are.
But like that's my point. Like you've got bands like I think Judas Priest and Deep Purple. I don't know for sure.
Black Sabbath.
That's what I'm wondering. So like that's what I'm saying. Like you've got guys like that who aren't even on the ballot, but like then you've got a guy like Eminem who's compared to them relevantly young and hasn't done as much as they have, in my opinion. In his own genre, yes, he's done a lot of charity work. Yes, he was controversial. He made a whole new thing. I like his music, actually, Eminem. I'm not bashing him. I'm not bashing any of these people. I'm just saying I don't think he should go into a rock and roll Hall of Fame. And also, he's going up against Dolly Parton. I don't think he's going to win the ballot. I think Dolly Parton, out of those, and also like I think there's other people on it too, but I didn't really know the other names. I think over Eminem, Dolly Parton should get it, if anyone, because she's a lot more legendary. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. But yeah, so that's my opinion. Do you have anything else to add, Daniel? Or
I don't really know. It just baffles my mind.
Yeah,
it's just,
everyone's agreed with me so far. Why is he in a?
How do you take like?
Yeah.
Oh
like,
wait,
and again, like I'm not bashing it either, because like that guy, he's my favorite rapper. I have like every CD, I have action figures, posters. He's my favorite. But how do you take a rapper, like just in general, the question, how do you take a rapper and be like, yeah, you're gonna go into the rock and roll? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like they might even be like, do you not know what I do?
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah. Like that's all I'm saying. If he wins, I will be proud of him too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just a little confused on concept.
Me too, man. Yeah, I'm glad that you agree. I'm also glad that everyone's kind of agreeing, because I thought I'd be bashed for it, but no, you know what? Like, it's an opinion, and hey, actually, like, I don't hate him. I actually really enjoy his music, but I don't think a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is really necessary a place. But hey, again, he is a controversial person, and this could just add to that. Now he has brand new controversy that now will follow him forever. He got in the Hall of Fame over so-and-so. So this could just add to his career, too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Because, you know, his whole career has pretty much been
controversy.
Yeah, so this actually could add to it. So actually, like, if you look at it that way, it's actually not that bad if he wins it.
It's an interesting
He
thing
can use it to his advantage to diss people like me, who are basically coming after him for it. If I ever become fucking famous enough that he'll diss me. But, yeah. I would love to be dissed by Eminem, I'm just saying, so that I can get my name out there. But, you know, yeah.
I mean, publicity is publicity.
Hey, it's publicity. I don't care if I get bashed. But yeah, does anyone else want to add anything before we move on to our next? We have a lot to talk about this week.
Just so he, like, if he ever, like, if I go to vote for that thing, I'm gonna vote for him.
Awesome.
Because, like, I don't listen to the other artists as much as I
No,
do.
true.
I listen to him more than once a week on a normal basis. Like last week, I've listened to Music to Be Murdered By, like the side A and the side B, at least more than 4 times.
Nice.
You know? And if, like, my Spotify thingy doesn't lie, like, I'm the top, 0.5% of his listeners. And
Eli's probably the top 99, but
you know, and, like, if I didn't have the physical CDs, it'd probably be even higher, because, like, he doesn't record the amount of times he plays CDs, right?
No.
Anywho, sorry, that's...
it's cool, man. It's cool.
I just hope Fozzy gets in the Hall of Fame one day.
You know?
That's a band that actually deserves it.
Rob Zombie.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we're listening to Rob Zombie earlier.
Yeah, he was on my playlist. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. This topic will mainly be Brady and I. So as announced today in a community update by Rockstar Games, they are making GTA 6, and everyone wants it to be in the GTA.
People from Toronto.
People from here want it to be.
Just to clarify, the Grand Theft Auto 6, and everybody wants it to be in the greater Toronto area.
That's what I said, yeah.
No, I know, just to clarify, because some people probably don't even know.
So now here's what I think. I think that could be something, and I also think that Drake could be in the game. Now here's why. If you're playing a GTA 5 online right now, Dr. Dre is actually in one of the storylines, and he's actually voicing that character. So I wouldn't be surprised if they like incorporated Drake as maybe like a major character in the game.
May I add to that for a second?
Yeah, for sure.
Bro, if they do that, yo, Scatterboy's gonna go off his rocker.
Oh my god, yo, I have to film that. He freaking got in, but I didn't. Oh my god, it's Audrey. Yeah.
It's gonna write a whole album about the game. Oh my god.
Where's my fucking thing on GTA? Where's my? I hang around Eli too much. I'm sorry.
Too bad. It'd probably even gonna be in Toronto. It'd be Vice City.
Well, we could have to make up a fake city.
Yeah, it wouldn't be called.
What the heck would it be called? Chonto? Oh fuck. Torino.
It makes sense.
That actually. Torino, Gran Torino. No, I don't think
That sounds super.
But yeah, so what are your thoughts on that, Brady? Because like I know that we're the biggest gamers in this car right now. Sorry, guys.
It's about friggin' time.
Oh my
It's been almost 9 years now.
When did GTA 5 come out? 2013?
It came out September 2013.
So I remember that day. I went with my dad to the EB Games, which used to be near my house, and I lined up for the midnight launch, and I went home and I fucking played it. Because I was off of school, right? Because actually, like, at that time I was working... Was I working at No Frills? No, I wasn't. I was on in 2013, right? I was working for Northwest Production, which is an event security company. So I stayed home and I just played that game for days, and I fucking binged it. So yeah, it's about bloody time. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know, I was thinking maybe for a name of the city, because remember back
Yeah.
when. Do you remember? Well, you guys, some of you weren't old enough, but back in the late '90s, they were changing Toronto. They were changing Toronto to encompass everything, called
Yeah.
the GTA. But do you know what they originally, I think, tried to call it?
What?
The Mega City.
I'm happy they went with GTA.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe in the game that's what they could call it, Mega City.
True. And I really hope that they do incorporate. Okay, so basically,
Chrome-heads?
she could be in it.
Yeah, I know.
So basically, if you've played any of the latest games, they've only really had 1 or 2 cities. I really hope that they would add the entire GTA, so then like you could drive around like Oshawa, Saga, Brampton.
Scarborough.
Well, actually, like that's part of Toronto. I'm Oshawa, Durham region, New York region. So like you could drive around Thornhill. One of the missions: help out troublemaker, bail out of jail, or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Jeez.
They would have to do something with the CN Tower.
Oh yeah,
Like maybe have to skydive or something.
that's what someone said. Yeah,
Bob's plan needs to be a character.
I would love that. Well, hey, you guys are from here, so you might as well fucking be in the game, right? If a Rockstar Games is hearing this, anything else you want to say? Yeah.
Blue Jay player is choking at second base. You have to jump off the CN Tower and save him.
Yeah, I know, that'd be fun.
Parachute off the CN Tower. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You have to go to Ajax and help out somebody.
I want to see Toronto just in any video game.
DOS 500.
Oh God.
That's definitely going to be in the game. Elizabeth Torres can actually live there, Brady 500.
Yeah.
Remember her, the cokehead? Oh my god.
Well, I hope. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was back in Liberty City.
Yeah.
Which is New York.
Yeah.
But I think it'll probably be a place.
That's what everyone's saying, unfortunately. Maybe the game after, which will be out when actually like we're in our 70s.
Probably.
Just better not be in Los Santos.
No. What about San Francisco?
In no Santa Cruz.
No, that's true. If that's it for that topic, what was the next one? I think you wanted to talk about. Oh no.
Yeah. So
Actually, you know what? We'll save the best for last. Brady wanted to touch on. I know, again, a lot of people in this car won't probably know much about this. Next Sunday is Super Bowl 56. Speaking of which, who is at the halftime show? Eminem,
Whoop, whoop.
50. No, sorry, not 50 Cent. I don't even remember. Eminem, Mary J. Blige. Who else?
Dr. Dre.
Dr.
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, speaking of Eminem, that's where I can't wait to see that performance. But yeah, so we got Super Bowl in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so if anyone wants to say who do you think is gonna win, so who's even in it, Brady?
It's between the visiting Los Angeles Rams and
They're the visiting team?
Cincinnati
Wow.
Bengals. Yeah. It's also only the second time
Yeah.
where the host city has a team in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy.
The last time it happened was last year, where
True.
Tampa Bay was that home in the Super Bowl. But before that, it never happened.
True. So I'm. That almost rear-ended me. Sorry about that. We just had an ambulance going by. The fuck did I do? I fucking stopped. Anyways, fuck him. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, so am I.
Wait, it's LA versus who?
Cincinnati.
Oh. What's the name of the team for Cincinnati?
The Bengals.
Versus.
The Rams. I think Cincinnati's the underdog, if I'm not mistaken.
What's a Bengal again?
Bengal Tiger. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So, does anyone else want to just randomly pick a team?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati has never won the Super Bowl.
Bman? Nice. Even though you don't watch thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really care, honestly. I guess Cincinnati. I don't
What
fucking.
about you, Brady?
Well, I think the Rams are going to, not just like.
Everyone's picking the Rams.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? With Daniel and I both picked
No,
Cincinnati.
true.
What you talking about, Wills?
Cincinnati. Everyone's picking friggin' Cincinnati. Yeah.
I mean, they could definitely upset Los Angeles
True.
and win it, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. So my theory on the halftime song. So, you know how they're all going to be there in States? I think they're going to probably announce a massive tour. I don't think just one of them is going to tour. Because if you look at the past, a lot of the performers who have actually performed have actually gone on to tour. So I think that they might do a massive tour. Just my opinion. And you heard it first on Ride Along.
You know what, to add to that?
Yeah.
I think, like, right after, like, at the end of the performance,
Yeah.
I think Dr. Dre might announce when he's releasing Detox.
True. Or there could be an ad or something like that. Yeah.
Because we've only been waiting about 20-something years for Detox.
So yeah, does anyone else have anything to add to the Super Bowl?
If you watch the Great Cup,
Mm-hmm.
which was back in November,
Our
what do you
version
think-
of the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the better game? Because the Great Cup was a really good game.
Debatable. We have to see.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the Great Cup because it's a massive arena and it's bigger.
Not bigger than the Super Bowl. Hamilton holds like 20,000 people. Yeah, Los Angeles is like 100,000.
That's what I'm saying. I really think the Super Bowl is actually going to be the bigger event.
I'm just saying, what's going to be the better game?
Probably the Super Bowl. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like, obviously the Super Bowl is going to be the better event with the halftime show and all that, but
That's what I'm saying though. Is like probably the Super Bowl.
well, the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl was against the New England Patriots, and they lost to the Patriots.
One more thing to quickly add, and then we will move on. Tom Brady actually did retire this week. It's not fake news.
Sad.
Yeah. Because last Saturday, apparently he said he was retiring, and then his dad was like, "No, my son's not retiring." And then like a few days later, Brady's like, "Hey guys, I think I'm gonna retire." Okay. But anyways, so that's that about football. Bman, you wanted to touch on the so I hope I don't get taken down for this because as of right now this is not a sanctioned event. If you guys have watched the stuff that's going on in Ottawa and that's coming to Toronto, he did want to touch on that. I do not support any of this. This is totally his opinion. Anyone else's opinion in this car, no one's views are reflect the soul, blah 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 blah, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, go ahead, Bman.
All right, well,
I
that
did have to say
disclaimer
that.
out of the way.
Yeah.
I fucking absolutely love what they're doing. Like, yeah, I know people are inconvenienced. Some people probably haven't gotten sleep. But, I mean, have you thought about all the stuff that's been going on these past couple of years, okay? Lockdown, almost never-ending lockdowns. Or if they do end, they go right back into it. You got fucking all the mandates coming out. Like, if you want to do this, you have to be vaccinated, even though... Like, especially with the truckers, because they've been trying to mandate truckers get fully vaccinated, right? And like most of them are, 90% of them are. 90%. They just don't. Yeah, 90%. They just don't want to have. They just don't want to have to be vaccinated. They want to have the choice. So what are they doing? They did a convoy all the way from like I think BC or Alberta or something all the way over here to Ottawa, and now they're protesting, and then the freaking government, like Trudeau's gone into hiding. That's another thing too. Again, I may maybe talk about, but Trudeau's gone into hiding now, saying, "Oh, I caught COVID, so I got his quarantine." Like, not according to your medical officer of health, you don't. But anyway, so, and I love it because we're finally starting to fight back. It took 2 years too long, but we're finally starting to fight back, and I love it. And if I could go down there to Ottawa and support them, I would. I honestly would, because it's like I said, they're fighting. They're trying to stop the mandates, because I mean, you shouldn't be forced to be vaccinated to do your job, especially if it's a job where you don't really have much contact with many people. They're fighting to end the lockdowns once and for all, and you and I were discussing it earlier, B-Scat. They're finally starting to listen.
I was gonna touch on that. So, but did you want to add anything?
Oh, go ahead.
So here's what I'm gonna say about the whole Trudeau thing. Again, I'm not revealing my security plans. I don't work for the RCMP. It's not his. Okay, so I just want to confirm this. It is the same with any government agency. It's not his choice. His security team tells him, hey man, it's not safe, you need to get out of Ottawa. That's why he's not where he is. He has to listen to his security team. That's why he's gone into hiding.
Okay, but what does he have to make him an excuse like COVID?
Okay, fair enough, but again, it's for his public safety. Same with the Premier. It's the same with the Secret Service in the States. I can tell you from experience, if you are a protectee, you need to listen to your security team, because we know what we're doing, and if there's known threats in that crowd, as there apparently has been, I'm not going to dispute, because I do know people that are there in law enforcement roles. That's why he's gone into hiding. I'm not going to reveal where he is. I don't know, but yeah, no. So I don't want to say that I do and don't agree. My only concern is this, and I do actually agree, like with the mayor of Ottawa. Why are they honking their horns at 3 a.m. in residential areas? What does that get you? Besides angry neighbors, you know what I mean? I get like a peaceful protest, but honking your horn at 3 a.m. is just not getting your point across.
Oh, that's...
And as you said, and I've noticed this too, ever since this whole thing started, notice how over the past few weeks they've all slowly said, well, now we just have to live with it. So they are scared. They should be. I do agree with that. When it comes to the truckers, they should be vaccinated, because they do international travel, and if you do go to the US, their rates of infection are extremely high, and even down there's a lot of different diseases, there's a lot of different stuff, and sometimes they even go as far south as Mexico, and down there they are a very poor country, not like a well-done nation, and then if they bring those things back here, it then infects our people, right?
And you see, that would be a problem if the COOF was as bad as they've been making it out to be.
You do make points though.
It hasn't. I mean, okay, nobody should be dying from any of that stuff. That sucks. I get it. I mean, my own grandmother died of pneumonia, right? So it absolutely freaking sucks. But at the same time, if you're young, if you're healthy, if you have no other, what do they call it, comorbidities, if you have no other issues, then being your job, your livelihood shouldn't be hinging on whether or not you get a vaccine for something that's been proven to not be as deadly as they're saying it is. Another
thing that I am going to touch on, I have seen videos online, again, I can't confirm it, there were innocent healthcare workers, and this is a concern that'll be coming here. Why do we need to block hospitals and assault healthcare workers for simply doing their job? Frontline workers should not be assaulted. It's not them making other choices, it's the management. It's like if you go into Walmart and you yell at the cashier, what are you gonna get? You're not gonna get anything. She's doing her job. Unless she actually does fuck up, okay, then fine. But if you're yelling at her over a store policy, that's not gonna get you anywhere. You have a chain that you can go up to the department manager, the store owner. Yelling at frontline workers really does nothing. And that's why, and that's another concern, right? basically like assaulting and yelling at nurses and transit drivers doesn't get you anywhere. It just gets you not well liked.
Well, another thing I want to say about the whole honking thing is, yes, that's got to be annoying, but at least unlike some other protests that have happened in the past, people aren't losing their businesses. Their businesses aren't being burned down and windows broken. You know.
Well, there was that one report. I don't know if it was confirmed. They did assault a homeless shelter employee over food in Ottawa. Again, I really hope that the protest this weekend here doesn't turn out that way. Let's see what happens, you know?
Oh, and there was one... No,
It was about a soup kitchen.
Yes. So that's what I said, like a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And they... Yeah, so like, I don't mind if you peacefully protest, but, like, don't assault and fucking yell at random people for doing their job, innocent people, who might in some ways agree with you, but they're afraid to speak out. Because, you know, I don't want to get into details about where I work, but we are... where I do work and also where Daniel works, I'm not going to reveal. We are mandated to get it, or we can lose our job.
And that's the point. That's the whole point.
So sometimes you aren't really allowed to speak out.
That's the whole point, though. Is they're actually out there. They're trying to make sure that nobody has to be forced to get it in order to be able to provide for their family.
I know.
Like if you were. Like I said, like you guys were pretty much forced to get it, under threat of losing your job. See, that shouldn't happen. That should not be a thing. It shouldn't be. You have to get the jab, or you can't provide for your family. That's stupid.
I think it should be for some places like healthcare, and I do say education because we do more me because I'm frontline, but caretakers as well. Cleaners, whatever they're called. We do work with vulnerable people who may not be able to get the vaccine, or who may be too young. And if they get this,
now, if the government has their way,
if they get this, they can die. So I'm not saying, you know what I mean. So like you have good points, but at the same time, I do see the government's side to an extent. I'm not a Trudeau supporter. I'm more of an NDP supporter, but I really think that Trudeau has messed up. I don't agree with the lockdown mandates. I really, really don't. I think we should have just vaccinated our way out of it. But yeah, that's my opinion.
All I'm saying about that is...
Also, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm so sorry, this is quickly, sick ass art over there. It's like a wasp and a bee. That's really, really cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
Oh no!
I don't know. Like, is that like supposed to be something?
I don't think the camera's
Weston
catching
and
it.
Eglinton.
Eglinton Avenue.
I don't think the camera's catching it. What was I gonna say?
So yeah, so
I'm just of the opinion that what an individual does with their body should be up to the individual, not to the government.
And now here's one more thing that I'm going to touch on. If you saw the thing last week, there were some news reporters that I had heard of getting assaulted. I don't care what opinion you have. Again, you don't assault people for doing their jobs. These news reporters,
They've been lying to us for over 2 years now.
I don't care if you call them fake news or whatever. They're still doing their job. They are frontline reporters who listen to editors.
Yeah, they're doing their job to be to help the government push through all the mandates and stuff by lying to the public.
At least they're doing what they want to do, and they're doing what they enjoy. Personally, that's why I kind of consider myself a mainstream. I mean, like a freelance journalist, so I don't really have a boss. But no, like, no one should be assaulted for doing their job. I don't care if you're a police officer, a cleaner, a transit driver, a cab driver, an Uber driver, whatever. To be assaulted for doing a job, that is not okay anywhere.
And now let me ask you something.
Yes.
Did you hear about this? Apparently, I saw this, so I know it's legit.
Okay.
I saw the video on this, and if I can pull it up later, I will show you guys. The Ottawa City Council wants to I mean, they didn't say it, but it's pretty damn obvious. They want to actually steal the GoFundMe money that's been raised for these truckers to have food, gas, and all that stuff. They actually just want to just take it. They don't even want to go through the law system. They're just like, oh, let's just tell GoFundMe to not pay them and just give it to us.
Okay, so
They want to actually physically fully steal it. And it's not pocket change either. We're talking like 10 million. GoFundMe's withholding the funds.
Has now suspended their account.
Yeah, and they didn't do it for Antifa or BLM.
According to them, they are now considered a fringe or terrorist organization. So what could happen is,
Liz, I wonder
if the
why
city
that is.
gets that money, what they could do with it is, how much
not their
all
money.
that law enforcement costs. They could now use this money to now reimburse.
That doesn't matter though. The people aren't donating to the Ottawa government. They're donating for the truckers.
Is now of the proceeds of crime. So that is now
but
in the hands of the police.
What crime though?
According to
yeah, that's what should tell you that the bullshit that is.
What GoFundMe has said, again, I'm not supporting or not. They have that would be considered, I believe, again, I'm not an expert, funding a terrorist, or even though I don't know, that funding a terrorist organization. So that money is now considered property of, I don't know if it's RCMP, I don't know who the leading investigator is on that, but that money is now no longer relevant to them. It's now the proceeds of crime. And if there is a court case, that money is now evidence.
Well, see, the government doesn't even want to take it to court. They just want to take it.
True.
But see, here's the thing, though. See, that's what GoFundMe is a freaking bunch of hypocrites, because when Antifa and BLM were doing all that stuff in the States the last couple of years, they didn't cut the funding. They didn't say they were terror, even though they were literally burning things down. They were literally destroying people's businesses. They were stealing stuff. They were shooting people. All that stuff they did. Not once did GoFundMe say, "Oh, we shouldn't take because they might be terrorists." That never once happened.
True.
But for some reason, honking a horn is considered being a terrorist.
True.
That's such bullshit.
There is a little bit more to it. According to social media posts and also people I know, there are people on the ground that apparently have weapons, and apparently there are propane tanks and stuff like that.
Well, you're gonna have to have a weapon. People assaulting you all the time, and
yeah, but you're not allowed to carry a weapon in Canada. But anyways,
kind of
I do kind of want to wrap it, if that's cool. I
just got really passionate about it because
I know
it like all the bullshit and like what they're trying to do, and then they can't even be allowed to do it because they're a terrorist organization, even though it's total bullcrap.
I hope we don't get taken down for this. Again, it's his opinion, not anyone in his car. But yeah, did anyone else want to add anything to that? It was kind of
I don't even know where to start.
Right?
Oh man. Okay, Brady, you wanna go first?
Yeah, well, I also heard that there like a lot of some damages to where it's like maybe like a Terry Fox statue or like or the war memorial or something.
Yeah. So apparently, with the Terry Fox statue, and there was actually like a video of actually the protesters cleaning up last week. I think it was on. Yeah,
that's another thing too. Would a terrorist organization clean up after themselves?
And also, they didn't really defecate a statue. They just put a Canadian flag and also like a sign on it.
Yeah. So is that what something a terrorist organization would do?
I don't want to get into it. I don't know. I'm not an expert on how you classify that and not. If I was, I didn't answer it. But.
No, but just use common sense. Is that something a terrorist organization would do?
I don't want to answer that right now because I don't know, and I don't want to get into.
Speaking of terrorists,
go ahead.
I heard that Joe Biden said the leader of ISIS got off.
They did take him out, yes.
Crazy.
Good for them.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Anyone else want to add anything?
I think it's cool what the truckers are doing. I understand the whole 3 a.m. honking the horn though, I was part of that protest, like I would tell my people that I was with, yo, let's like let people sleep, and then like when they get re-energized in the morning, we start again. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I understand like their angle of what they're going to, but I understand that people need some sleep.
Right, exactly. Going once, going twice. Any other topics? I know you wanted to think of something, right, Daniel? That's pretty much it for the agenda this week.
Well,
Oh, sorry.
actually, I mentioned it earlier, the Elimination Chamber is being set up
Yeah.
pretty nicely. We got apparently, like I said earlier, Roman Reigns got his new challenger. Becky Lynch is facing Lita, of all people, at Saudi Arabia for the Raw Women's title, which is insane. Like, I never thought I'd see the day, but the SmackDown tag titles are going to be on the line. Viking Raiders versus Usos. And the men's chamber's filled out. So we got Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, who didn't have to qualify. Surprise, surprise. Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, who didn't have to qualify either, but he actually won. He actually technically won his match at the Rumble. There's a fifth guy.
I'm trying to think.
AJ Styles, yeah.
How could you forget that name?
No, I was saving him. I was actually saving him for last. There's a fifth guy I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Riddle. Riddle's in the chamber. That's a pretty stacked chamber, I've got to say, for the most part. Like, the only guy who's, well, I don't know if he really like seems out of place that much, but Austin Theory is like the only guy you look at him like. But then apparently Kevin Owens doesn't want to do Saudi Arabia shows anymore, so makes sense that he's not in it. But yeah, that's a pretty stacked Elimination Chamber match, I gotta say. Like, we all know who's gonna most likely win, but you can make a case for Rollins. Well, obviously you guys know I want Styles, but that's probably not likely. You can make a case for Rollins, Styles, and in some cases I guess you could kind of make a case for Riddle. I mean, they're talking about doing the RK Bro split soon, and then them feuding at WrestleMania, so a feud over the title wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But yeah, Lashley, of course, is champion going in, but he probably won't be the champion coming out. Let's be honest. That'd be great if he were, but let's be honest, it's probably not going to happen. So yeah, so that's the chamber so far.
I think it'll be Lesnar. Let's just mind, because they're definitely are definitely going to tease the title versus title match. They've been doing that for a while now, so
They've been wanting to do it for a while, yeah.
I want Bobby Lashley to win.
Yeah, that's it. That, like, Lesnar honestly is the least appealing option, but it's the most likely option.
Like, Bobby Lashley survived an extreme chamber, so he can definitely survive a normal chamber.
But there was something somebody said that I actually sort of disagree on because of the way they've been booking Lesnar lately. They were saying that Lesnar's probably gonna, like, the five guys are gonna probably, like, have all that time to themselves. They're gonna probably battle for over half an hour just for Lesnar to come in and, like, win within 5 minutes and eliminate everybody. See, with the way the fans have been reacting to Lesnar, he actually does seem like a babyface now. So if anything, they might just give him the underdog win and have him come out like in an earlier spot, maybe not first two, but maybe like the third guy, and actually have to fight his way, and then Lashley maybe come out last. Because Lashley's, like, I'd say he's a tweener, but he's leaning towards the heel side. And he's the only actual real heel in this match, I think, other than Austin Theory, but we know Austin Theory's not winning it. So, well, I guess you could say Rollins is kind of, he's been acting more babyface, but he's more of a tweener too, I'd say. So, yeah. So those are just my thoughts on the show so far. I think it's going to be a decent show. I just wish it wasn't, I get why it's on Saturday, but normally they do these things during the week, right? Like, you'd see it on like a Thursday or something.
It's better they're doing it on the weekend.
I know they are, but I'm saying it's strange at the same time because they normally do it during the week.
Hopefully it's not during the day, but
It is. I think it's starting at noon.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, screw that, man. I won't be able to see that for the life of me.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They usually do it like weekdays
Unless they
during
sold
the
like a
daytime.
repeat at 7 at night.
Oh, they're definitely
They
going
might.
to.
Then we can all hang out and watch it. Yeah.
Well, you guys can.
Oh, you mean you're not gonna book off?
Well, no, after all the time off I've been getting
True.
lately, nuh-uh.
Does anyone else want to touch on any last minute things, housekeeping, anything they wanted to?
Yeah, one thing. I think if for the Elimination Chamber match, if they do plan on having...
This is where the 506 goes? I'm sorry. That's really cool to know.
Yeah, it goes to Hyde Park.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, go ahead, Brady. I've
If
never...
they have Lesnar win the Chamber, then I think they should have him start the match.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess I was thinking he'd probably just come out third, maybe, like not last, but not first either. But I guess anything's possible. Like, I don't think they'd want to have him running through everybody. So if he starts first, that's more than likely what's going to happen. He's just going to run through everybody, and we're going to be like sitting there for like 5 minutes between. Because they say it's 5 minutes, but it's usually longer than that. They take between entrants. So like, let's say you have like Brock Lesnar starting, maybe like, I don't know, Austin Theory. Theory's going to be eliminated within like 2 minutes, and then like
Yeah, 'cause where's he gonna go?
Actually, you started off with Lesnar and Rollins, and then you have Mayweather Theory second, and then he gets eliminated, and then you have Styles or Riddle coming next, and then
That poor guy's phone. It's gonna get destroyed eventually.
I don't think he's gonna be having it in the chamber. He'll probably just like take selfies and then just leave it on the outside of the ring somewhere.
I mean, it's not like he put in work.
Well, you never know. He might get cut sooner rather than later. I mean, they happen so randomly now. Like if a guy like Regal gets cut, then you know, Theory, what chance does a guy like Theory have? Honestly,
I kind of hope he doesn't. I like this little push with Vince.
no, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Like, but I mean, you get guys like even Braun Strowman, like you would, or Nia Jax too. You would think a person like her would probably never get a cut in like a million years, but there you have it. She got cut. Braun Strowman, but then again, that's why I guess that's why they had Almas. That's what they have Almas for now. That is the big giant, but he's not. Strowman actually like had decent charisma. Like he wasn't the best guy, but you know, you kind of get behind him. But a guy like Almas, I'm just not seeing it.
I think he's gonna get released very soon.
Yeah, you know, like when you utilize people and they pretty much like help carry your company for a good period of time, you would think that you would appreciate that. But no, budget cuts are some serious stuff. Like I'm shocked to the results. Like I'm literally referring to like Strowman and Wyatt, like the swamp match and the Extreme Rules and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember that.
That whole thing took time, effort, segments, all that to really piece together. And, they're not there anymore. Like, it's pretty disappointing.
You know what kind of sucks if you think about it is Strowman actually technically should have never been Universal Champion, because if Reigns didn't pull out because he was afraid of the COVID, then he would have beaten Goldberg, and we would have had Reigns as champion for like another 4 extra months. When you think about it, we would have probably never had Strowman as because the minute Roman came back, they took the title off of Strowman and gave it to Wyatt for a week so they could put it on Reigns.
I think they should have just had Strowman lose it to Reigns instead of putting it on to Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, for like all of a week.
Yeah, literally
That was so weird. They had SummerSlam and they had Vengeance literally a week after that. Like, what the hell? That was so weird.
Oh, Vengeance.
Yeah, I think it was called Vengeance, wasn't
I
it?
think it was Payback. I could be wrong.
It's either Vengeance or Payback. It was one of the two. But my point is, like, they literally had a pay-per-view 1 week after the other.
Yes.
That's so weird.
Like, the strangest, like, pay-per-views, like, historically, was one that I never got to see live was Taboo Tuesday.
Oh, that was so much. That was so cool back in the day. Like being able to go to a pay-per-view on a Tuesday, like especially going to ETC and stuff.
Yeah, I wish I was able to do that.
They only had that twice, and then they moved it to Sunday.
Yeah, we should bring back that type of interview where you get the vote. I mean, I don't know if the voting is real or not, but
Well, I don't think it was.
Watching those documentaries, it looks damn real with that voting stuff.
Well, that's.
I mean, it could be real.
Well, I mean, if WWE is the one who was producing them, right? I mean, of course they're gonna want to people think it's real.
I think like what they did for that in a Cyber Sunday, maybe it was real, but they had all different scenarios set up for all the different matches. So if they pick an Extreme Rules match, this person wins and this is what happens. If they pick a Steel Cage match, this is who wins and this is what happens.
Well, what they would do actually is they would have 3 different versions of the same match.
Yes.
So like Extreme Rules or No Holds Barred.
Yeah. Well, like they'd have to change a few spots in the match though, because like let's say like it was an Extreme Rules match. They'd say, okay, we're gonna have a kendo stick spot. We're gonna have a table spot. You know what I mean? Like.
Also, the other thing is for some of those votes,
Yeah.
they made it so you literally kind of knew what was gonna win regardless.
Yeah.
Like they made it very obvious. You're like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna put Tajiri,
Jerry Hurricane.
yeah, and there's some other cruiserweights,
Johnson.
you know, and vote.
Well, there was an actual real life example you missed, and that was the one where they had who they wanted people to vote on who was going to be the special guest referee for the world title match. I think it was like Mick Foley, JBL, and Stone Cold, and like everybody knew it was going to be Stone Cold.
Yeah. Anything else?
Like, one more thing. Has to do with that place right there.
Rogers Center. Okay, what's the update, Brady?
They're still on lockout. It's probably not going to get resolved anytime soon.
Okay.
Also, on Monday, they announced the cover athlete for the new Halloween.
I saw that. Yeah, it was not
It is.
Thunder Rosen.
The Los Angeles Angels player Shohei Ohtani.
Nice.
Won American League MVP,
Nice.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because the Blue had 2 MVP finalists
Yeah.
against him, and they lost.
Anything else anyone wants to add?
Speaking of 22, 2K20 WWE, 2K22.
Yes, that game looks sick.
I know, and I don't want to buy a freaking PS5 just to play it, but I'm almost tempted to because they brought back GM mode
Yes.
for the first time in fucking since 2000 SVR08, which came out in 2007. So we're talking 15 years since they had a GM mode. It's been forever, and they finally brought it back, and I want to, but I don't want to drop $500 on a PS5 or an Xbox One or whatever just to do that.
You could get it's a little cheaper. Get an Xbox Series S. That's like $350.
Yeah, but that's still a little bit too much. I've even held off on getting a Switch Lite because I want to. So nobody I know that plays Pokemon except Dougie does, but like he doesn't play Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and they still haven't come out with home compatibility. I want to be able to trade, get Pokemon there like trade evolutions and stuff, but I can't because nobody plays Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Speaking of which, Daniel, if you're interested, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel is finally out for Android and iPhone and stuff, so you can actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! On your phone.
Yeah, I'll just have to figure out what I'm gonna uninstall to install that.
Well, it's not that much data. It's like or not that much storage. I think it's like 100 megabytes or something.
Oh, for real?
Something like that. Yeah, it's not that much storage. All the storage is in like the game and stuff, but like there may be a slight. You might have some slight problems with it because it runs great on my phone, but the problem with it is that it closes out on its own every so often I'm trying to do something. It just randomly closes out. I'm like, fuck.
Oh shit.
But but the animations and stuff, it runs really smooth. But some people have been showing that like the animations and stuff, there's a lot of lag and the animations are really slow and stuff. So you might have a problem with that, or you might just have a problem with the game constantly closing out on you when you're trying to do something.
Well, you know what? I'll try to look into it, because I might get some extra space on my phone soon, because my Spotify has been acting up and I can't listen to any music while my phone is offline.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
And so I don't really know what to make of it. And if that's going to continue, then I'm going to unsubscribe to my Spotify, because just save $10 a month, because like there's like no point. Like, obviously the point is to save music, so like I don't have to always have my data on, right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I'll look into that.
Speaking of, I'm trying to figure out how to get music to play on my phone without going through Spotify.
You should switch to Freedom Mobile, Daniel. You get unlimited data.
Oh, well,
You do. It just slows down after a while.
well, so for me, I have 10 gigs and then it's unlimited, but it slows down.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So yours
that's
is like
the
mine.
whole thing.
Okay.
Um,
Then if you have unlimited, keep your data on the whole time and it'll work.
I guess so.
That's what I do. Like, if you don't pay for your data, then just use it.
Yeah, like once it goes.
Your phone might be a little slower. Like, you might be hearing a song going. But yeah, I usually just like use the Wi-Fi like wherever I am.
I feel that. Yeah. I do that too. You know.
Might be scared. You weren't kidding. We're going over an hour already.
What was I gonna say? So I got something to add that's like completely out of the blue. So I finally got to try the pizza pockets with Frank's Red Hot Sauce in it today.
Nice.
Yeah. Finally got my hand on the box. Finally got to try it.
Where did you find them, if you mind me asking?
At a grocery store.
Nice.
Yeah. And so basically, I give it like a 2% spice hint. It could have been spicier. I was expecting spicier because of all the buzz, but it is what it is. I still like it. Pizza pockets are dope, and like since I was little, I've been like popping open the pizza pockets myself and putting chili peppers and hot sauce in it. So yeah, that's mad sick. Woo! You guys are
Nice
getting
little
the scenic
visual.
route tonight.
Nice little visual, yeah.
You got the cops, the ambulance, the random guy that honked at us.
Yes. I'll rent one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my news. The pizza pockets, they're still tasty, just can be spicy.
Anyone else want to add anything?
I think we Gucci.
So yeah, I guess I'll add my really not exciting news. So tomorrow, probably gonna go see Scream. I haven't seen it yet. I'm probably gonna go tomorrow night and probably see that. I do want to see that new movie. I think it's called The King's Daughter or something. It's with Pierce Brosnan. It got a terrible review on CP24, but I watched the fucking trailer and I enjoyed it. So I might watch that at home on Sunday. There's just a lot of great movies coming out this month. We have the Uncharted movie, which is actually based off a video game. Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, aka Spider-Man. Can't wait for that. There's so many great movies coming out, and then in 2 weeks, on a Thursday, Bman and I are going to Winter Glow, which is a walk-through light exhibit at Black Creek Pioneer Village. So yeah, so look for that. Yeah, there's just a lot of great stuff coming up. And now we're finally back open, we're getting stuff back into the economy. So yeah, so that's pretty much what's popping.
Hell yeah.
What's up? So yeah, anyone else need to add anything? I know I've asked like 10 times, but oh, I know, right? 50. Well, I love how they last minute said, "Hey, movie theaters, you can have popcorn and drink." Yeah.
Also, one thing, before the shutdown, they're like 50% or 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And then they're like 500 people. Like, when did they change it back to 500? When did they change it to
I know.
when it was always 1,000?
Fun fact about that, that's per cinema.
Oh.
It's not the it doesn't count for every single body in the building at once.
So 50% throughout the whole building.
Yeah, so per cinema.
Or 1,000.
So basically, half the seats in the cinema.
That's fine.
That's including employees.
Really? That's crazy.
So, you get
So hopefully you don't have a lot of employees working. But yeah, no, so that's pretty much it. Look for movie review. Probably dropping Sunday. Because I'm probably gonna go see it tomorrow at Yonge and Dundas. If I can get downtown.
Didn't you want to go south?
No, we're going to... Where were we going?
Well, I figured since you get a drop, yeah, whatever.
Well, no, he said that he was grabbing food.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna do him and then you and then him. But anyways, does anyone else have anything to add?
No.
Okay. I guess that's pretty much it. This is one of our more organized ride-alongs.
Also, one of our longest. We're clocking in over 1 hour and 10 minutes.
We literally drove from like the north end all the way to the south end,
And now back up north.
and now we're heading back up
I
north.
think the weekly ride-alongs are definitely helping.
Yeah, right? Well, no, because
before it was like 20-minute episodes. and now
well,
they're
because
all
we had
an
nothing to talk about. Well, now at least now that they're bi-weekly, we have a couple weeks to process, and also my brain does. And like, let's say next Friday I want to go hang out and watch a movie, I can do that. I don't have to think, oh my god, every Friday I'm locked into ride-along, you know?
Well, don't forget too, during those ones where we had to film several in a row.
Well, yeah, that's because I was going away and shit, right? But yeah, no, so I'm actually really happy about these bi-weekly ride-alongs. I think they're working out, you know? And of course, yours are now kind of up in the air, Bman, because, you know...
Well, they're pretty much done now
KJ's
since
back to
KJ's back. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty much done now.
Lasted. But yeah, so if anyways,
all 3
guys,
episodes.
this is kind of long. Have a great night, weekend, peace.
Peace out.
Well,